He must have found something suspicious in his case.
Okay. Which one do you think is the modal verb here?
Must.
Must, right? And the last one, please, Maribel. Sentence E.
He may not have fulfilled all the requirements.
Mm-hmm. Which one do you think is the modal verb here?
For me, may.
May, right? Fulfill the requirements. Okay, very good. So as you can see in this class, today we are going to talk about modal verbs, right? And we have a lot of modal verbs. I want you to pay attention to this and take notes. We are going to use these modal verbs for different functions. For example, sure, when you are sure that something happened. When you are sure that something didn't happen. To talk about possibility, when you think that something possibly happened, and when you think that something possibly didn't happen. Okay, so here we have some modal verbs, and I want you to tell me which of them do you think we can use when we are sure that something happened? Which of them?
Can.
Can, when you are sure
Yes.
that something happened?
Must.
Must, right?
Must.
We use must when we are sure that something happened. What about this one? Sure that something didn't happen. What do you
Couldn't.
And
Might not.
Might not?
Might.
Couldn't.
Couldn't? Okay.
Can't.
and
Can't?
Can't.
Very good. So we use couldn't and can't when we are sure that something didn't happen. Okay? What about when we think that something possibly happened?
Sure.
Might.
might
Should.
Might.
Might.
may
Could.
Could?
may
May.
Very good. So we use might, may, and could when something possibly happened. And what about this one? Something possibly didn't happen.
May not.
May not.
May not and might not, right? So we are going to use all these modal verbs. These are the ones that we are not going to use in this class. Okay, so we are going to use modal verbs to talk about the past, about these situations. Okay, here I have some examples and I want you to help me to match them with the correct function. Okay, here we have the examples. Please, let me see. Gustavo, can you read the first one?
I just passed Barney in the street. He can't believe he can't have seen because he didn't say hello. The streets are soaking wet. It must have rained last night. Jim didn't come to the meeting. He might not have. How about it? There is a broken cup on the floor. Someone may have dropped it. Karen couldn't have been at the party last night. I was there all the evening and I didn't see her.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So here we have these sentences and we are going to match them with the functions, okay? So what do you think? Which of them do you think we are sure that this happened? Which of them?
the second
The second, right? Yes, because we have must here. When it says sure that something didn't happen. Which one?
The first one.
The first one? Okay, very good. Any other?
last one
The last one? Okay. Let's see. Very good. What about something that possibly happened? Possibly happened.
the third one
The third one.
This one?
yes
Jim didn't come to the meeting. He might not have known about it. Possibly something that possibly happened. This one, right? Because this is in the negative form, as you can see. So
Yes.
there is a broken cup on the floor. Someone may have dropped it. And of course, something that possibly didn't happen. Here we have may not. Of course, we have other structures that we can use. As you can see, we are going to talk about the past. And we are not going to use just the modal verb, but we are going to use this structure. Okay, the modal verb, have, and the verb in the past participle. Okay, so here we have some of them. For example, must have and the past participle. What about this one? Which one do we use when we are sure that something didn't happen? Do you remember? Which modal do we use?
Couldn't or can't.
Okay, so very good. So we can use can't have and the past participle, or we can use couldn't have and the past participle. Okay? What about possibly something happened?
May.
Might.
Might,
Could.
Might, it may.
could,
May.
and may, right? Very good. So we can use these three. Could have and the past participle, may have and the past participle, and might have and the past participle. Okay? What about possibly something didn't happen?
May not.
Can't.
Couldn't
Can't.
and may not.
Couldn't.
Okay. May not,
May.
not have, and might not have, plus the past participle. Okay, so these are all the modal verbs and the structures that we are going to use today to talk about something about the past, but we are going to speculate or make deductions about something, okay? So as you can see, here we have exactly the same structures in these sentences, in the examples that we read before. And we have two questions about them, okay? Number one, it says, are they talking about the past or the present? What do you think? Past or present?
They are talking
Past.
in the past.
Yes, they are talking about the past. What about number two? Is the speaker certain that what he says is true or not? Do you know what is certain?
It's like a sure that
Sure, right? It's the same as sure. Is the speaker sure that what says is true or not true? What do you think? Is sure?
no, because they are speculate with the models.
Yes, they are speculating with models. Okay, very good. So we are going to move to the grammar panel, and we are going to try to complete this chart with the modal verbs and the structures we learned. Okay, so try to use these sentences, these ones, to complete the grammar panel. Okay, so let's go to the grammar. It says past modal, speculation, and deduction. We use must, could, may, might, may, couldn't, have, plus the past participle to speculate and make deductions about the past. Okay, so here we have a speculation about the past event or situation we are sure happened. What do we use? Which of the examples do you think we can write here?
Must.
Okay, which of them?
D.
D, right? He must have found something suspicious in the case, in his case, right? Very good. So we need to write this sentence here. What about number two? We think something possibly happened. So here we have an example. He may have brought the wrong form. What other two sentences we can write here?
Might.
Yes, sentence A. He might have forgotten an important document. Very good. Any other?
B and B.
And B, right? He could have made a mistake on his form. So we need to write these two sentences here, right? In number two. What about number three? It says, we think that something possibly didn't happen. Here we have an example. He might not have known about the law. What do you think is the example here?
Letter E.
Letter E, right? He may not have fulfilled all the requirements. Very good. So we need to write letter E, the sentence in letter E here, number 4. What about the last one? It says, we are sure that something didn't happen.
Letter C.
C, right? He couldn't have read the form carefully. Okay, so we need to write this sentence here in number 5. Okay, very good. So we're going to practice a little bit this speculation and deduction on page 146. Let's go to page 146. And here we have a conversation. Choose the correct options to complete the conversations, it says, okay? So I want you to do it by yourself. I'm going to give you some minutes and then we are going to check, okay? What do you think the man is looking for?
A pack.
Is looking for his backpack?
His passport.
His passport? Okay. I want you to use the structure because you are not using. Okay, try to use the structure we learned today. The modal verbs with have and the past participle. Okay? To answer the questions, try to use the modal verbs. He must have.
He might have looked ID card.
He might have lost his ID card.
Look.
No quedaría muy bien. Si usted pone look, él debería o podría estar buscando su
ID card.
He could have searching in wallet. I think.
He could have searching.
And a search.
Yeah.
Search in wallet.
Okay.
Could be.
What do you think happened before? I want you to speculate. I want you to make deductions about what happened before and use the grammar. What do you think?
He may have lost his flight.
Okay, very good. He may have lost his flight. Okay. Any other options? What do you think could have happened to him?
Me, teacher.
Please.
He might not taken his passport, sorry.
He might have not taken
Yes, teacher.
his passport. Okay, very good. Diego?
Teacher, maybe he could have been nervous.
Very good. He could have been nervous. Okay, very good. He reminds me a little bit of Zidane. I don't know. It looks like Zidane for me. Okay, so here we have some sentences and questions. We are going to read them and then we are going to match them with these responses, okay? Number 1, it says, are you sure you packed you might have left it at home. What do you think? Which of them do you think we can match with? Speculation about something we are sure happened. A speculation about something we think happened. Speculation about something we think didn't happen. Or a speculation about something we are sure didn't happen. What is this?
B, teacher.
B.
B. Yes, okay, very good. B. What about number 2? Oh no, it must have fallen out of your bag.
A.
A.
A, right? Okay. Number 3. You couldn't have lost it. I saw you put it in your bag after we went through passport control.
D.
D.
D, right? The last one, it says, check your bag again. You may not have looked carefully.
C.
D.
D, right? Speculation about something we think didn't happen. Okay, very good. We're going to do the next one. This one, number 5. Review the sentences using the words involved and keep the same meaning. Okay, so we have to keep the same meaning, but we have to change a little bit the sentence using the modal verbs here. Okay? Number 1, it says, I am sure they like my job application because I have an interview next week. And we use the modal verb in this way. They must have liked my job application because I have an interview next week. Okay, so we are going to do the second one. I don't believe that Lucas went to Chile. And here we have couldn't. How can we change this sentence with couldn't?
I couldn't have believed that Lucas went to Chile.
Anybody else?
He couldn't have gone to Chile.
Lucas couldn't have gone
Yes.
to Chile.
Very good. Lucas couldn't have gone to Chile. I saw him yesterday, for example. Couldn't have gone. No pudo haber ido a Chile. Okay, very good. What about number 3? I think my job application got lost in the mail because I haven't received a reply. And we need to use must. What can you say here?
His job application must got lost.
Okay, my job application must
Has gotten.
Have
have
gotten.
gotten lost in the mail because, and the rest of the sentence, because I haven't received a reply. Okay, very good. Number 4, maybe Jack didn't know about the dress code. And here we have. We need to use have. What can we say?
Jack may have
not have
known
known
about the dress.
code. Very good. Very good. Let's go to the next one. His visa application was rejected. It is possible that he made a mistake on the form, and we need to use might. What do you think?
He might have made a mistake on the form because his visa application was rejected.
Very good. So we can say his visa application, all the first sentence was rejected. He might have made a mistake on the form. Or we can say the sentence in the other way, right? As your partner said. Sorry. Made a mistake. Or we can say he might have made a mistake on the form because his visa application was rejected. What about number 6? Perhaps Mika didn't read your email, and we need to use may.
Mika may have not read your email.
May
Not have.
May
not
have
Read.
Not
read
have read your
your
mail.
email. Very good. Very good. So, as you can see, in all these sentences, we are using the structure. Okay? So, we have the modal verb. The modal verb. I want you to underline, or I don't know if you can circle or use colors maybe in your notebook, in your workbook. Then we have in all the sentence. Remember that after modal verbs, we use the verbs in the infinitive form, right? So you can see have. We don't use has. No importa si nuestro sujeto es una tercera persona. And the last part is the verb in the past participle. Okay, so we have the structure in all the sentences. Any questions about this? Any doubts, maybe? Anything that you would like to check again? No? Okay. I am writing about a package that was sent from Australia a month ago. The phrase is, I am sure something has gone wrong. How can we change this? I am sure something has gone wrong. How can we change this using the past modal structures? Any ideas? Something has gone wrong. What do you think? No, it's something must have gone wrong, right? So we need to erase this, and we're going to write the sentence here. Something must have gone wrong. So I don't have the space here, but I'm going to put it here, okay? Something must have gone wrong because it still hasn't arrived. Number 2, there is no way I missed the mailman. There is no way. In this expression, do you think this person is sure it is something that possibly happened, or is not sure?
It's sure.
It's sure that something didn't happen, right? So what can we use here?
couldn't.
Couldn't.
Okay, so
There is no way I couldn't have missed the mailman, I think.
Okay, I couldn't have missed the mailman. I couldn't have missed the mailman because there is always someone in the house. This is number 2, right? What about number 3? It is possible that it got lost. It is impossible. So in this sentence, is the person sure about this? Is something that possibly happened? What do you think?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, so what can we say?
Must.
Must.
It must have gotten lost.
But it says it is impossible that it got lost.
Can have got
Good.
lost.
It couldn't have gotten lost. No se pudo haber perdido. It couldn't have gotten lost, right? Because packages are tracked electronically. Number 4, perhaps the mailman delivered it to the wrong address. What do you think? Perhaps, do you know what is the meaning of perhaps?
May
Quizás.
have,
Quizás.
Like maybe,
May-
right? Like maybe.
yes.
So,
May have,
Perhaps the may have delivered.
okay, the mailman, what else?
May have delivered.
May have, or you can use could, or you can use might, any of them, right?
The delivery.
Might have delivered it to another address, right?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. What about the next one? Or it is possible he left it with a neighbor. What can we say?
He might have left.
He may have left it.
Yes, he may, could, or might have left it with a neighbor, right? I reported the problem a week ago, but it is possible you haven't tracked down the package yet. What about this one? It is possible.
May not or might not.
He may not.
Okay. Yes. Maybe you can say you may, could, or might not have tracked, right, down the package yet. Okay. Any questions about this? This is the last one, right? You may not have tracked, or you could not have tracked, or you might not have tracked.
Teacher, what's the meaning of track?
Rastrear, track. So it says, it is impossible that it got lost because packages are tracked electronically. Okay, so rastrear. Okay, very good. Any questions? Any doubts?